Lights on, so that means we're live, huh? We're going, right, Kyle? Okay. Hey, welcome this morning. How's everyone doing? Good. Awesome. It's good to see everyone. Here to talk some Liberty basketball. So I'll open up the floor to questions at this time, and we'll get started. District recap was. We had a nice win against Winnetonka in the district semifinal. We had a first round bye, so we got the winner of Winnetonka and Kearney, and Winnetonka won impressively that first game for them, and so we knew we had a tough opponent in our first round, the semifinal round, and that proved to be true. Winnetonka played very well, played very tough as the grinded out physical game. Both teams played horrible offensively, especially in the first half, just because of the physicality and the intensity of the game. Neither team was very efficient offensively. But I attribute that to, the effort was just tremendous, and just is a tough battle. And so, we got into more of an offensive flow in the second half, and particularly actually at the end of the first half, Brady Newland hit a shot, and we got a layup and had a little run there to make it a 5-point game at halftime, and then. We played well in the third quarter, opened up a nice lead, and then they cut it down to 2. And fortunately, Reese Frizzell had a really nice game offensively and scored 9 points in the fourth quarter to seal, I think it's a 12-point win or something like that. So happy to advance and move on. That first playoff game is always nice to get behind you. And move on, and then we drew. We knew a quality opponent in Fort Osage in the district championship game, and we knew it was going to be another physical battle just because of their front line. Fort Osage, their bigs. They start a 6'5" 2 guard, and they got a couple guys down low that are very athletic and very big and effective, and that poses problems. Our interior game, both by our postman and our guards getting into the paint, wasn't what we needed it to be successful. The number of paint points that we got wasn't enough, and that proved to be the difference in the game. Got down by 16. It was 32-16 at one point. And one thing about our club this year is just extremely determined, and that's one of our core values. Is determination, and we showed a lot of determination to come back from 16 points down. Bank 3 from the top of the key by Moultrie. Brandon Moultrie ties it up. And then our last 2 possessions were 2 of the worst possessions of the entire season. So I really don't want to talk about those. Yes?
During both games, the interaction in the first half and the second half.
Yep. Well, you'd like to be consistent throughout both halves, but I'd much rather be a fourth quarter team than a third quarter team. I'd much rather be a second half team than a first half team. I just like the way our guys finish. We don't start necessarily bad or poorly or anything like that. Yeah, we could play better, but we've had first half leads, we've had halftime leads, and we're fine with that. We still play our best basketball when it matters the most, and that's one of the things we talk about is it's not necessarily how you start, but it's how you finish. I think we're a tremendous finishing team. We just didn't finish against Fort Osage, and I'm fine with I'm fine with how we played and how. Yeah, granted, yeah, I'd love to shoot better than 18% than we did against Winnetonka in the first half. That was ridiculous. But with that being said, we won by 12 because we took care of business in the fourth quarter and when the game's on the line. So I think a lot of that can be attributed to just how we got some tough kids on our team, and Cody Winters kind of exemplifies that. He's a tough guy, and Eric Greeley, and those guys that just can grind it out and play at a very high intense mode for the entire game, and those tough guys. And we've got more than just those two. We got some gamers that can step up and during crunch time and make some significant plays. Yes?
You started to look into next year, your coaching seniors.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. This past season's not that far behind us, but what does it look like for next season? And we actually addressed that when we asked the seniors, we talked to everyone as a group, and then we asked our seniors to step out of the locker room, and we addressed all the underclassmen before we left Friday night. So, we've already started that process. With replacing Kwaku and Artie, and Eric and Cody is going to be a huge test for our younger guys. Like I said, I mentioned a handful of those guys. Half of them, Artie and Kwaku, are tough kids too. I'll just tell you something. Those four guys led our entire team in charges, with Artie getting the most, and then Greeley's right behind that, or Winters right behind that. But Artie, Eric, and Cody. And Kwak had quite a few charges taken too. So we did set a school record for the number of charges taken. That's a sign of toughness, obviously. Standing there, holding your ground, and getting run over probably is one of the best examples of toughness in the game of basketball. But finding four guys that can, replace those guys that took those charges is going to be a tough challenge for us. Also, those guys brought it every day. Cody, out of all the players that I've coached here, and we've had a lot of good ones come through here, Cody's probably at the top of the list when it comes to, I knew exactly what type of effort and mentality and toughness I was getting from him every day in practice and every single game. I didn't have to say anything to him about getting ready to play. I made sure that he had the team ready to play. But he's one of the toughest kids that I've ever coached, on a consistent, high level of just intensity and just flat out getting after it. And so right now, our underclassmen, they're not even close to him. And they're going to have to figure it out, because we don't have anyone out of our underclassmen that plays as hard as Cody does, or Eric, or even Kwak and Artie too. So we got some challenges ahead of us. Yes. One of my favorite memories. I don't have an exact memory. We had a lot of fun times together. This season, as you're well aware of, was we had success, and we won 19 games, and had a lot of success on the floor. Played a really tough schedule, and I'm pleased with our record. Wish we were still playing and all that, but this season has been marred by just disappointments off the floor. I mean, we had we had some guys that attended 3 funerals in the first month and a half of this calendar year, and that's not easy, and that's not a fun time. And just for our guys to stick together, which is another one of our core values, and what we stand for. I thought they showed a lot of teamwork. I thought they showed a lot of togetherness, and also a lot of perseverance. And so just being a part of that. But one of the most satisfying things is removing myself from that and seeing how well the guys handled it. That was for me quite an accomplishment for our guys to go through that with success, even though those weren't the best of times. When you stand back and you look at it and see how they handled it, that makes me very proud of our guys and the program, just how they battled through a lot of negative things that happened off the floor that were totally out of their control. Yes. Oh, that's a good question. Who are we looking at to step up? We've got a nice group of underclassmen. A lot of them got experience as sophomores, and now this year as juniors they were thrown into some roles where they needed to contribute, and they did. Whether that be as a starter or coming off the bench. And so we've got a solid group of juniors, be seniors next year. They're going to contribute. We got a few sophomores that can do the same thing, that have those opportunities, and we've got a nice freshman class that had a phenomenal year at the freshman level, and then did a pretty decent job of contributing at the JV level once their freshman year was over with. So. Yeah, that's what's awesome about the off season is people get a chance to step up, assume new roles, and fight for starting spots or backup spots or whatever role they want to try to assume. So obviously we started 3 seniors. Quad came off the bench as a senior. So we've got those starting spots to replace. 2 juniors started with Brandon and Kellen. So look for them to come back. And congrats to them on earning all district honors. In fact, Kellen was our district MVP. So well deserving of that. We've got other guys in that class and classes below that are going to fight and battle for playing time and starting spots and all that good stuff. So it's time to improve. Anything else? All right, that's all we have time for. I appreciate you coming out. Have a good day.
The weekly Coaches News Conference on KLPS TV is brought to you by Hawthorne Bank, a proud sponsor of Liberty School District. At Hawthorne Bank, we understand the importance of strong community in a strong school district. We also understand the importance of strong financial future for our school district's families and for our local businesses. Hawthorne Bank, with you every step. And by Jackson Hewitt. For all your tax needs, personal or business, rely on tax professionals at Jackson Hewitt and Liberty, a full-service tax preparation professional. Jackson Hewitt.